WAEC theory question 2. Two cars, X and Y, start from a common point and they travel in opposite directions. X travels at an average speed of 60 km per hour and Y at 80 km per hour on the same course. Question A. Determine how far apart X and Y will be after 3 hours. All right. In this question, let's assume that the two cars started at a point this, and the X travels, let's say, east direction, and they moved at 60 kilometers per hour. Okay, that is X movement. And the Y travels in the opposite direction. Let's say it moves on the western side, moving at an average speed of 80 kilometers per hour. All right. And the question has asked us to calculate the distance apart between X and Y. All right. We want to find the distance in kilometers between X and Y. This is relative speed. What we are actually going to do is to remember the formula that says that speed is equal to distance all over time. That means for me to actually find the value of the distance, it is now going to be speed multiplied by time. By this formula, since I know the speed and I also know the time, both X and Y traveled at the same time, which is 3 hours. Therefore, the distance for X movement is going to be the speed of X, which is 60 kilometers per hour for 3 hours, meaning that X must have moved 60 times 3, which is 180 kilometers. Okay, 180 kilometers for X. All right, so X has moved 180 km. Now, for Y, the distance for Y, this is distance for Y, this is distance for X. It is also going to be the same speed multiplied by time, and the speed of Y is 80 kilometers, the same time 3 hours, which is now going to give us 240 kilometers. So the movement for Y is 240 kilometers. Therefore, the distance apart, as the question has asked, how far apart is X and Y after 3 hours? So that is now going to be 180 kilometers plus 240 kilometers. We add the two, okay? We add the two, and when we add 180 plus 240, that is going to give us 420 kilometers. So distance apart between X and Y is 420 kilometers. This is the answer that is expected from this question number 2A. All right, let us now move to question number 2B. And that is said, if the speed of X is increased by 20 kilometers per hour within the 3 hours, what would be the effect on the distance between X and the Y? Okay, let's see. You see, the distance covered by X originally was 60 kilometers per hour. Sorry, that is the speed of X initially was 60 kilometers per hour. Now, it is increased by 20 kilometers per hour. So what it means is that at the second instance, X must have moved 60 plus 20, which is now 80 kilometers per hour. What that implies that the speed, okay, sorry, the distance of X will now be 80 multiplied by 3, which will also be 240. Now, what will now happen is, recall that from question A, that distance of Y was 240. Okay? Now, the new distance of X, because its own speed has been increased by 20 kilometers per hour. The distance of x now, okay, is now going to be another 240 because 60 kilometers per hour plus 20 kilometers per hour will now be 80 kilometers per hour multiplied by the same 3 hours. So it will also be 240 km. Now, therefore, when we sum it up, both x and y in this section B, what it will now be is 480 kilometers, okay, covered within the same 3 hours. Now, what has happened here? They say the effect of distance between x and y when x has increased by this. So the effect is that the distance has changed. There will be a change in distance by 60, okay, 60 kilometers. So that is a change by 60 kilometers. The new distance now, instead of 420 kilometers, is now 480 kilometers. So that is a change in distance between x and y by 60 kilometers. All right. So that is for question B. Question C. State the importance of calculating speed when calculating total distance over the same time. Okay. Here, the speed determines the total coverage per time. We can write it like this. Speed determines total coverage per unit of time. What this means is that speed, or rather distance, is proportional to speed. Okay, distance is proportional to speed, meaning that the higher the speed, the more or slash higher distance, okay, covered. Okay, so that is it. All right, so this is for question number 2. Thank you for watching.